Hey guys, it's John, ReelBlue Custom Rods, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to do a product review on this lockdown or this next level lockdown 15-minute cure paste. I was one of the first people to do the next level finish reviews when they came out with that. One of the first people to get that product. I know this has been out for a little bit now. I just didn't get around to purchasing any. I finally have, and so I wanted to just kind of run it through the paces and just give you my opinion on it. So let's get started. So I'm gonna do two things actually today. The first thing I'm gonna do is we're gonna add a winding check to a rod that I'm building, and then we're gonna add a handle to a second rod that I'm building. So the first thing I'm gonna do is go ahead and put on some gloves, some nitrile gloves. I like these black nitrile gloves. I like them better than the blue ones. These black ones seem to be pretty tight and they fit really good. So I like these. I'll have a link for these down in the description below if you're interested in finding them. So this is the part A. So we're going to go ahead, open the part A. And so I've got the lid off, but as you can see, or you cannot see, I'm kind of taking my time with this because it's full all the way to the top and sticks, if you will. And I got some on the lid there. Let me wipe that off. And it sticks to the lid, which I'm not complaining. So there's plenty in there. It's quite, it's not pasty. I mean, it is a paste, right? But it is more of a kind of fluid paste. Really moves really easy, as you can see me move it around, than probably what you're used to with a traditional paste, like U40 Pro Paste, Pro Paste, or like a U40 Rod Bond paste, where it's kind of more of a paste and not so pliable, I guess, if you will. So what I'm going to do, again, I've got a couple things I'm going to add here. So I'm going to put some on here. And then we're going to put the lid on. And then you can see right as I took it out, that just kind of went right on down. And as I turn the jar, you can probably see that stuff move around. So it's a bit more fluid than probably what someone would be used to, but that's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. So now what I'm gonna do, I'll wipe off my little stick that I've got here that I've used a couple times. Now we're gonna open up the part B. Okay, we're kind of at the same thing here, but it's the part B, so it sticks to the lid. Again, that's just because it's a brand new jar and it's full, right? So if you order this product, just be aware when you get it brand new, it's going to be full at the top, and when you open, it's going to be there. Same thing. You know, I'm going to get some here, and you can see that this is pretty darn fluid, right? Again, not what most people would probably be used to from a paste perspective when it comes to rod building, right? And then you can just see how this is, the part A is really leveling out and flattening as it sits here in the room. And I think the part A might do that as well, but we'll see. So again, this is the next level lockdown 15-minute part A, part B. We're gonna set these aside for a second, and we are going to let this sit. Now, I told you I am going to be adding this winding check to a painted blank, and then I'm going to do an EVA foam grip. And there's there's reasons why I picked those items. One, I think winding check are probably one of the components that you would use in rod building that you would require the least amount of paste to adhere the product to your rod, but you're looking for a really good bond with the blank and the handle material, right? And secondly, important to me, is cleanup. And so how easy, once I put this on the blank, how easy is it for me to clean up with some isopropyl alcohol and some shop towels and get it, cleaned up? Does it leave a haze on the winding check? Am I able to get all of the residue, off of the EVA foam grip or off the blank, right? And then the second one, EVA foam grip. So I'm building a 5,100 pound stand-up rod with adjust-a-butt. And so why I chose this EVA foam grip, if you've put plenty of EVA foam grips on some rods, if you have a tight fit, depending on the kind of the paste and the bore that you use to kind of bore out the center of the blank, or excuse me, the center of the grip, I find that, of course, it's going to leave EVA foam residue on the paste that's covering the blank as you slit it down. But the real question is, regardless if there's EVA foam in it or not, is how easy is it to clean the paste off of the blank, right? So what we're going to go do, I let that set so we can see the part A continues to flatten out and get a little bit bigger. Part B, maybe a tiny bit, but really not so much. What I want to do is I'm going to come in and I'm going to mix these products. Remember, I'm 15-minute product here. And so I'm going to mix these up. And I'd like to, you can use tongue depressors like the flat brown wooden sticks. You can use those for mixing. You can use popsicle sticks like I'm using. It just all depends what your favorite is. I use a popsicle stick because it's just easy to mix it this way and then use this to kind of transfer it to where I want to do it, especially if I'm doing a winding check. Doing a grip, I would probably definitely like to use more of like a tongue depressor, the wooden flat ones, because it allows you to grab more paste and move more paste on the blank when you're trying to cover where that handle is going to go at. So again, I'm mixing this up. So as I mix this up, it's pretty thick. It doesn't move extremely easy, but I mean, it moves through it, but you can feel that there's some resistance from the paste as you're mixing it together. All right, and then what I'm going to do, kind of wipe that off a little bit, and one more time, bring that in there. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a little bit of that, and then I'm going to grab my blank, if you will, and what I like to do is I'm going to put a little bit up higher on the blank. All right, and then I'm going to set that down. And then actually what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab another stick because I'm going to use that. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take my winding check and I'm going to slide it down. And then I like to use another stick to go behind it and apply pressure to it. Now what I see, I'm going to grab a little bit of this extra paste. And the reason why I applied it up high is because as I slide down the winding check, it's going to push. It's going to push that paste down, right? All right, so all the way down. And I just kind of go around and I apply that there. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back with my just regular isopropyl alcohol. All right, so we'll come back with our isopropyl alcohol. We're going to grab a couple pieces of shop towel. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and grab that up. And then we'll do that again. Fold that over. I'm going to come back in here in the crack on the foam. Then we're going to grab a couple more pieces of the shop towel and kind of repeat that. All right. And again, come down on the foam at an angle using my finger to clean that up. And we'll come back in with another piece again. And I just want to make sure I'm getting all of this cleaned up because I don't want to haze on the winding check, right? And I also want to make sure I get all the glue off. And then what I like to do is, again, come back with my popsicle stick. Just apply a little pressure again. And then now, take that residual paste off of the blank. And surprisingly, that cleans up pretty good right off the blank. Like, not a lot of pressure required, if you know what I'm saying. But we're just going to keep doing that. All right, and then we're going to come back to the winding check and the foam grip there. And we'll do that again. All right. All right, and then I'm gonna, once this dries, I will be putting a decorative wrap over that. But I'm just trying to go in here and make sure that I get all that paste off. Or like, I don't want to, like I was saying, I don't want it to have like a haze. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna set that aside and let it dry now. And then the next thing we're gonna do is I'm going to come in and I'm going to apply the paste to this blank. So this is the bottom of where I want my grip to stop at, right there. And so what I like to do is make another spot. And that's really where I'm going to start with my paste, if you will. And then now I'm going to come back in here. I'm going to find that spot if I can, because it is, oh, I'm just not looking far enough up the blank. Okay, so now I'm going to come up here and then just move this paste on the blank. And it's moving pretty good. Roughed up the blank, kind of took off some sheen, made sure I get a good bond with the grip and the blanket. I'm going to come down to where I want to stop at. And sometimes I use tape to mark how far I want the grip to go down to, and then sometimes I just do it with the paste like this. And then once I have that on there, then I'll take the grip and I'll slide it over. And then I'll just start working that paste inside that grip. And because this blank specifically flares out towards the bottom, I got to make sure I get a good bit of paste in there because I want it to slide down. So I'm actually going to go past where I have that red mark, because what I'm trying to do is kind of get that paste on the inside of that grip. So when I go and push down, because again, the bottom of this blank is really, the diameter of the blank at the end is really large, and I've bored out the grip, but I'm going to need this to slide down, right? All right, so I'm going to go off camera here and continue to push this down. Okay, so I've got that down there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off this extra paste, and I got a little bit more to go. I just needed to see where I was at. I'm going to push about another ½ inch or so.